السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. مرحبا بكم. عندنا اليوم الدرس الثالث والعشرون. We are now on lesson 23. So as normal, again, I'll read the dialogue and then highlight the important points for this lesson, inshallah. So starting from here. جعفر: أين المدرسون؟ لا دخلوا الفصول ولا هم في غرفة المدرسين. أظن أنهم في اجتماع. أرأيت المدرسين الجدد؟ أجاء مدرسون جدد؟ نعم، جاء 5 مدرسين جدد. رأيت أحدهم في المكتبة قبل قليل، اسمه الحسين ابن الحسن. يدخل أحد المدرسين الجدد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا يا أستاذ. أشكركم يا إخوان. كم طالبا في فصلكم هذا؟ فيه 30 طالبا، ولكنني أرى 25 طالبا فقط. فأين الآخرون؟ هم غائبون اليوم. أي كتاب تقرؤون؟ نقرأ هذا الكتاب، اسمه قصص النبيين. قصص النبيين. لمن هو؟ هو لفضيلة الشيخ أبي الحسن الندوي. كم صفحة قرأتم فيه؟ قرأنا 53 صفحة. الكتاب فيه 90 صفحة. قرأنا منه 53 صفحة، فبقي 37 صفحة. ما أجمل حقيبتك يا أستاذ؟ بكم اشتريتها؟ اشتريتها ب80 ريالا. أنا اشتريت مثلها ب70 ريالا. أنا اشتريت حقيبة أصغر منها ب60 ريالا. So in this lesson, there are a number of things that we are going to cover. For example, Al-Mudarrisun. We are revisiting Jam'u al-Mudhakkir al-Salim, the sound masculine plural. Also, we're going to discuss la wa la, the negation of la with the past tense verb. As we learned before, we normally negate past tense verbs with ma. However, there's a rule: when we negate with the past tense of la, then we must repeat la. So لا دخلوا الفصول ولا هم في غرفة المدرسين. They didn't enter the classrooms, nor are they in the staff room. So that's how we use la with the past tense verb. We must repeat it. لا دخلوا ولا هم. So this is being repeated now, but we will see this is in an exercise that will come later on, inshallah. So as you had mudarrisun, then we have mudarrisin. Okay, so it's looking at mudarrisin and mudarrisun, how it changes. That's what we will discuss today, inshallah. Also, numbers that are like 10s, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Those numbers. And 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Those kind of numbers. The numbers in between 20 to 30, 30 to 40. Like this. So we're looking at those numbers. Okay. So that's going to be the main points to be discussed in this lesson. The sound masculine plural, the negation of the past tense of la, and those numbers. Okay, so you can see 53 صفحة. But we'll look at numbers. Numbers is something that you always have to revisit anyway, inshallah, and it will be revisited in lesson 24, like a whole summary of numbers, inshallah. If you can remember, ma ajmala haqibatak, we learned that a while ago. Look how beautiful your bag is, like this. 80 ب80, as you can see, 70 and 60. So these are why we are studying the numbers like this today as well, is because they are on the same pattern as the sound masculine verb, either ending waw and noon or ya and noon, as we'll come to see anyway, inshallah. And as you know, this exercise, as normal, is answer the following questions regarding what you have read in this dialogue, inshallah. So continuing from here, it says اقرأ الأمثلة الآتية لجمع المذكر السالم. Read the following examples for the sound masculine plural. المدرسون. Okay, you're going to read these sentences. I advise you to translate them also. Just make sure you know the vocab. It says اجمع الأسماء الآتية جمع مذكر سالما. So here it wants you to make all of these nouns plural on the sound masculine plural form. Okay, and we learned this from Medina book 1, so we should be well acquainted with this now. It says اقرأ ما يلي. Now these are your numbers from 20 to 90 in tens. As you can see, the word عشرون ثلاثون is very similar to the sound masculine plural. Okay, but these are not sound masculine plurals. They are associated with sound masculine plurals. The reason why they are not is because they don't have a singular. There's no singular of 20 in Arabic. Okay, so there's no singular noun for 20. You can only get 120. Okay, so there's no singular for that. Ishruna, it doesn't have a singular. Okay, so here it's similar to, it has ishruna, it becomes ishrina. So it's very similar to the concept of the sound masculine plural. But also you can see, as we know, taliban, from 11 to 99, the noun that you're counting is always singular, indefinite, and has fathatain, mansub. Okay, that's an important point to remember. But I'll also discuss this again in the coming lesson when we will look at a summary of numbers in general. I'll try to mention all the rules for you regarding the numbers in that lesson, inshallah. But here it says ta'ammal ma yali, ponder over what follows. You have al-marfu', which means nouns that take dhamma or its equivalent. Al-mansub, nouns that take what? Fatha or its equivalent. Al-majrur, nouns that take kasra or its equivalent. So دخل المدرس الضمة. But if it's plural, دخل المدرسون, wow, instead of dhamma. دخل 20 طالبا, also 20, wow. Okay, then it has سألت المدرسة. I asked it here, it's مفعول به, is the object. فتحة المدرسة. سألت المدرسين, yeah, instead of فتحة. And then سألت 20 طالبا, again yeah, for mansub. Then قلت للمدرس كسرة, for the singular. قلت للمدرسين, yeah, again. So the sign for majroor and mansub for these nouns, the numbers that are similar to the sound masculine plural and the sound masculine plural, the sign for mansub and majroor, I meant to take fatha or kasra, is ya. So that's a point to remember. And then now you're going to apply this knowledge to complete the following sentence. أكمل الجملة الآتية بوضع الكلمة التي بين القوسين في الأماكن الخالية. So you're going to place the word that's in between the brackets in the empty space, but you have to change it according to its place in the sentence. What should it be grammatically? There's no vowel sounds here, but you should know this by now. We should be comfortable with these words, that we are able to read these without any harakat, and also change and make the necessary changes to these nouns if there needs to be a change. So it says مثال سألت المدرسين, I asked the teachers, but it's mudarrisun in brackets, but it became al-mudarrisin because it's the object of the verb of sa'altu. That means I asked. So who did you ask? Al-mudarrisin. I asked the mudarrisin. Then here, lesson 5, Medina book 1, mudaf ilayh. It says the same rule. So now it says تأمل المثال ثم أضيف الكلمات الآتية إلى الكلمات التي بين القوسين. It says look over the following example. أبناء المدرس, أبناء المدرسين. So as you can see, mudaf ilayh, you are to apply the same rule with the nouns that's in brackets. Buyutun, and you're going to make it mudaf to muhandisun. So what changes will you need to make when you do that? Okay, so this is revisiting lessons that we have already done in Medina book 1, but it's now with different types of nouns. It's making you ponder more in detail to the different types of nouns when we are applying this rule. Is it singular or is it plural, for example? So again, تأمل المثال ثم أكمل الجملة الآتية بوضع الكلمة التي بين القوسين في الفراغات. So ponder over the example, then complete the sentences by placing the words in between the brackets in the empty spaces. So قلت للمدرس. So li is a preposition للمدرسين makes it a kasra. قلت للمدرسين. So again, after preposition, we have ya instead of kasra. So أبحث عن, what's عن is a preposition. How are you going to say al-mudarris after that? So you are going to place these words in the brackets, in the empty spaces, then making the necessary vowel sound changes depending on their position in the sentence. But they're, in this case, they're coming after the prepositions. Okay, and sometimes it's going to be an adjective to a word that has a preposition, so you will also have to reflect that as the adjective follows the vowel sounds of the noun that preceded it. Okay, it says اقرأ ما يلي ثم اكتبه مع كتابة الأعداد الواردة فيه بالحروف. So read what follows and then rewrite them again whilst writing the numbers that are mentioned as numbers as words, writing them as words. So عندي, we should know what this number is. ريالا, we are going to write it as a word. Okay, write it as a word. Okay, and again, is it going to be ending in una or ina depending on its place in the sentence? That is for you to work out and test your knowledge of that which has been mentioned on the previous page. So you have 10 sentences to apply that rule to. Then it says اقرأ ما يلي, read what follows. So again, now it's 21 to 30. So the numbers in between the tens. So إحدى وعشرون طالبة. So right now we're counting a feminine noun. So let's pay attention to what happens here. إحدى and إثنتان. For 21, 22, 1 and 2 is always in agreement with the noun you're counting, the gender. Okay. عشرون is used for both genders. But now we have ثلاث وعشرون طالبة. ثلاث masculine. So from 23 to 29, we use the masculine unit with the feminine noun. And it will be the opposite. If I'm counting something masculine, then I would say ثلاثة وعشرون طالبا with the masculine form. So let's just pay attention to that when you're counting. The same rule of 3 to 10, the gender opposites. Just what happens is we have to write it with fatha, as you can see, because this is in between 11 to 99. So if you look at these numbers, become acquainted with these numbers, 21 to 30, then you have to apply that knowledge. اقرأ ما يلي ثم اكتبه مع كتابة الأعداد الواردة فيه بالحروف. So just like this exercise, you have to read the sentences and then write the words, write the numbers as words, not as numbers but as words. Okay. Then it says تأمل ما يلي, ponder over what follows. Now here you can see when I mentioned when you negate the past tense with la, you must repeat it. لا أكلت ولا شربت. I didn't eat nor did I drink. So now when I ever negate with la, the past tense verb, I have to repeat it. That's when we get la wala. I didn't nor did I. Okay. ذلك الطالب لا حفظ الدرس ولا كتب الواجب. That student didn't memorize the lesson nor did he write the homework. Okay. So that's using the use of la حفظ الدرس ولا كتب. Both the verbs are past tense verbs, fi'l madi. So I'm being negating with la. So I must repeat the la wala. Okay, so that's the rule when it comes to negating the past tense with la. You must repeat it, i.e. twice or even more than that, to show that this didn't happen, nor did this happen, nor did this happen. That's how we apply that. This didn't happen, nor did this happen. Okay, la wala. And as you can see, you only have another example of this sentence here. But here it says إذا دخلت لا على الفعل الماضي وجب تكرارها عند الإخبار. So it mentions if you enter la upon the past tense verb, then it's an obligation to repeat it. لا رآني ولا رأيته. He didn't see me, nor did I see him. Okay, so that's the use of la when you're negating the past tense. You must repeat it. You must repeat it, and have. This didn't happen, nor did this happen. Then you have your new words. So this is a reminder, make sure you're always memorizing your words. It's very, very important that we memorize and learn our vocab so that we actually have words that we can apply these new rules with. Otherwise, we'll get stuck on the new rules and we'll also not progress because we don't know any words to practice the new rules with. So when we know vocab, it just makes everything easier for us. but just pay attention to what are nouns and what are verbs. And also when you learn a singular noun, try and learn the plural also, inshallah. And also look, sometimes we have a word, nabiyun, but it has two plurals, nabiyuna and anbiya. So look at those points also, inshallah ta'ala. And I shall see you guys next lesson. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.